Good morning. Welcome once again to the Small Business Town Hall. I'm so glad that you took the time to join us and learn about important information that we're providing for the small business community here in the state of Rhode Island. Again, I'm your host, Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, and I'm so glad that I have this opportunity to share this information with all of you. So we always have the updates from the different directors, and we're going to start our update this today with the Secretary of Commerce, Secretary Lee Tanner, who's going to give us an update about what's happening at Commerce. Secretary Tanner, welcome.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. Always a pleasure to see you.
My pleasure. What's going on with the commerce right now and for the small business community, what they should be in the lookout for?
So I have two very exciting programs to announce. So you'll recall that a long time ago, a year ago, we received $100 million to put out for the Rhode Island Rebounds program. Yes. And there are still two programs left that have not gone out in there. And they are in functioning right now. So the first one is the ventilation program. And so I know it sounds a little silly to have a ventilation program this far along in the pandemic, but this is what the dollars are for. And so we want to try to get them out to the business. And last Friday was the day that we closed the RFP to ask for both intermediaries, which are like chambers of commerce, things like that, as well as for businesses to see if they were interested in receiving those dollars. That's up to $10,000 to improve your ventilation for your business, which can include things like indoor ceiling fans, upgrading, repairs or anything like that to an HVAC system. To purchasing any kind of like an indoor air filter unit. And so that's up to $10,000. We will be able, small businesses will also be able to then apply to those intermediaries to receive those dollars. And we should be announcing who those intermediaries are by late January, early February is what we are shooting for. So if you're interested in some information on that, you can go to the Commerce RI website and you can find that information there. And I'm hoping Ben will put it up on the website for us. That's
yes. Yes.
We love Ben.
I have a question about that, Secretary. Would that be, those fundings, could those be used also for heat pump? Because right now, I know there's another program trying to encourage businesses to switch over to heat pump as much as they do both. AC
I'm not sure. I can tell you that this is definitely geared more towards ventilation. I know some people have said, can we use it for to make our products, our buildings more energy efficient? And unfortunately, that's not what this is for right now. We still have a ventilation focus as we enter, hopefully, what will be our last winter of this pandemic. But we do have another program that might be interesting from a different perspective, and that's the Technical Assistance Program. This one has grown huge. And so one of the reasons for the delay is we did receive an additional $4 million from the EDA. So this is going to be a significant program. It's going to take us several years to get these dollars out. But we are partnering with our good friends over at Skills for Rhode Island's Future, and they are going to be the facilitator for us. So the applications, when the program is open, would go through them. And so this is very much geared towards small businesses who need help to get themselves into a post-pandemic world. So whether that is changing the way you market, do you have a website to sell your product, or to increase the likelihood that you'll increase your digital presence, or on social media where you can sell your product or services more, or this could be for legal or accounting assistance in order for you to grow your business in those ways. It can also be used for things like succession planning, or really, so many different things that a business could use. And so it's actually been quite difficult to set up because there's lots of vendors, because there's lots of ideas that people have. But a business would be available to apply for up to $10,000 in those kinds of services. I mean, that's a lot of money to be able to either pay for entirely or put towards a major change in your business to grow it. So that's a really, really exciting program that we are looking forward to getting out. And we do hope to have that available at some point in February. And I'll be sure to come back on here to provide the information to let businesses know where to specifically apply. But I would encourage your viewers to really think about what they could do with those dollars to build and grow themselves, right? So if you're a service-based business, how do you shore up your existence, right? Like, how do you take your business to the next level financially? What gaps have you had? What kind of information do you need so that you can think about what new equipment you need to buy. I mean, there's just so many different things that you can do. So it's a really exciting program, and I wanted to make sure that we got that information out. So those are the two big programs that we have coming up. And when the technical assistance information is out, we'll make sure that your office gets it to send to all of your mailing address, since we know that you very actively send out important information for small business.
Thank you. Secretary, I have a question. I don't know, maybe for the next time when you come back, when we can talk more about these programs. And is both of those programs, would any businesses that's
Ben, am I frozen or is she frozen?
The Lieutenant Governor is frozen. We're going to take her off at the moment. And Liz, did you have anything else before? Here she is.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if you got to hear my question.
I did not. It was great too. I said, Ben, is she frozen or am I frozen?
Yeah, sorry. So I was asking if those programs that you mentioned, businesses that started during the pandemic, are able to qualify for it. So I don't know if you have those details right.
So I believe she's asking about, who does qualify. So there are limitations on the amount of dollars that a business can receive. So that will have to be vetted out. If you've received significant dollars already as a business owner from the state, there might be some limitations. So we'll have to figure that out. If you're an intermediary, such as a chamber or an association, that limitation does not apply. So we would still be able to work with, say, a vendor or a chamber or things like that. So hopefully that answers her questions. But I will be back on next month if there's any additional questions, and we'll make sure that we send the information out to the businesses as well. I think I've answered the question.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry I don't know what's going on. Maybe internet connection is not the best today. But thank you for that information, Secretary. So looking forward to getting more details about the program coming up for the next time we get together. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. I just wanted to check, Ben, did you have any questions for the secretary that was posted while I was disconnected?
Nope, no questions.
Right.
No questions for the secretary today.
Great. So then let's move now to hear from the Department of Labor and Training, and Director Weldon is with us. Director Weldon, thank you so much for joining us. So
hey, Gov, how are you? I'm good. Kind of felt like you were Han Solo being frozen in carbonite. Right. But it seems like we're all good. So
we're good right now.
Just a few things. So you get to the end of the year and the beginning of the new year, and for a lot of places, they are, businesses are thinking about what's coming up for them. Maybe it's a little quieter after the holiday rush. At the Department of Labor and Training, that's not the case. In fact, it's the busiest time of the year for us. Wow. And so we've had to work really hard to get through our seasonal unemployment claims, which really bog us down quite a bit. Good thing is we're through. And so just to put it in the context for people, unemployment always has people coming on and going off. It's just how the program works. So every week there are 200 or 300 claims that come in and a couple 100 or 300 claims that go out. And it just keeps a fairly steady number. And seasonally, we get busy. Because at the end of the year, you have seasonal businesses that are closing down, and our weather has been pretty decent, so maybe they stayed open longer than usual. Yeah. Around mid-November, we start to get pretty busy. And then on the school holiday breaks, the non-school department employees, think about lunch workers and bus workers, file claims. And so we went from getting 200 or 300 claims a week to 500, then 1,000, then 1,500, and then 2,300 claims in the last holiday week. Right. And that just makes it very busy. And one of the things that we talked about a lot during the pandemic, especially, was fraud and what we had to do here to protect the employer-funded trust fund. And so my job, it becomes more difficult when you think about how do you provide good customer service while also protecting the integrity of the program. We have to find that groove or a sweet spot. And we haven't quite found it yet, but we're closer now than we ever have been. What I mean by that is when you file claims online now, you need to do things like prove your identity. And you have to do it in a couple of different ways. One way is through multi-factor authentication, which everyone here has dealt with. And that's when you're online and you do something and it needs to text you a code or email you a code to use. The other one is identity quiz that you might get. You have to answer questions. You have to get so many right. And people get tripped up. And when they get tripped up, they have to call. And when they call us and we're busier than ever, it becomes difficult. So last week, to get through the final push, we put up a help form on our website at dlt.ri.gov, which is right up there on the screen. It takes you to a UI help link. That's temporary. We can't leave it up forever because then that creates a workload that's very tough to manage. But it's helped us in the last week get through a backlog. So we have no backlog now. We're completely caught up.
Great.
And we've helped everybody that's requested help. Everybody who's been getting calls, hey, can you help me with DLT? They're going to slow down greatly. My team has done a great job, but we've been very
awesome.
good. So let's move on to some other things that are employer focused. Workshare. The Workshare program has 39 companies that are participating right now with an active plan. If you want information on Workshare, I just tried it and it worked. So I would just go to www.dlt.ri.gov/Workshare. And it takes you right to the Workshare page where you can get information about the program. In short, the program allows employers to temporarily reduce the hours of their workers and to have that lost income be backfilled by a partial unemployment claim. It keeps people connected to the employees that they've trained and that they've spent time with. It keeps workers connected to their employer during temporary periods of time. The one challenge that we get often is that we're asked to continue it year after year after year. And, really after 18 months or so, we need to move on because it's no longer a temporary downturn in your business. And then through the pandemic, we were pretty liberal with that, and we want to be. But at the same time, the longer you keep someone on, the more it harms them in the future if they need unemployment. And so if anybody has questions, go to that website. Right on the website, there's an email address that you can click and send an email to. The team will get right back to you, and that will connect with you and help you out. Real Jobs Rhode Island, job training for businesses in Rhode Island, small businesses, large businesses, different. We work with intermediaries, which are mostly professional associations. And I'm thinking of one I'm going to today is a hospitality association I'll be at this afternoon with Secretary Tanner. We work with them to help their members and people in that field. We have 65 partnerships now, the biggest it's ever been. The good thing about that is we're spreading across industries, large and small, throughout Rhode Island. The bad news is the money doesn't go quite as far because we're so popular. So we'll be advocating this year for more funds to be able to help more people. We want to make sure that employers can get access to talent and that people have a chance to get a great career and maximize their earnings. And finally, just for employers that are having a hard time, I've talked to a few employers lately who say, Matt, you are too easy with unemployment, and you let everybody collect unemployment and sit at home on the couch, and nobody has to go to work. And that's not true.
That's not true.
We do have rules, and yes, we audit claims and we make sure people are looking for work. But let's just remember, minimum wage went up to $13 an hour. A full-time minimum wage job is like $520 or so a week. The average unemployment claim right now is just around $400 a week. And so even at minimum wage at full time, they're making more working than they would be staying home. So let us help you get employees. That's my message. We can reach out to people on unemployment. We can have job fairs for free. We can post your jobs for free. We can help you find talent. Reach out, and I'll do this. I never do this, but I'm not as cranky today as I usually am. Go email me. Email me directly, Matthew, MATTHEW .Weldon, WELDON @dlt.ri.gov. If you want to vent, if you want to talk, if you want help, email me and I will help you.
And here is when I have to put my plug for the importance of childcare, because there are many people that if they go to work, they're going to be paying more in childcare than they really can afford. So just have to put a plug in there about the importance for us to help families with childcare. That's so connected to the workforce. We have to remind everyone of them.
Absolutely.
About them. Thanks. Thank you, Director. And I love that you have the update for the WorkShare program, because I want to make sure that Lisa Raiola, who's going to be joining us later, knows about that program, to make sure that she share that information with all the small business community that she works. So thank you so much for that information. It's so great to see you again. Looking forward to seeing you the next time.
Absolutely. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks. All right. So Ben, right along. Just want to make sure that Chris Parisi is joining us. In the meantime, I want to remind everyone to make sure that you get your vaccine, your COVID vaccine. Please make sure that you get your vaccine, the flu vaccine. Also, there's a lot of people getting sick because of the flu and COVID. So make sure to get your vaccine. That's the best way that you can avoid getting serious illnesses due to the COVID infection. So make sure to keep yourself away from the hospital. All right. So make sure you get your vaccine. So Chris, so glad to see you. How you doing? Tell me.
You as well. I'm doing pretty good, not getting as much sleep these days with the little one, but other than that, we're doing really well, gearing up for the new year. We're already in 2023.
Great. It's gonna get better. You see, you're gonna get a little bit more sleep soon.
That's what everyone keeps saying to me, Sabina. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'll see you at the State of the State tonight, Lieutenant Governor.
Yes. Looking
So-
forward to that today for sure.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that as well. And to give you an update of where we're at with the Rhode Island Small Business Coalition is that we did a survey and we have some good results. Some interesting stats when it comes to the top issues that small businesses are facing here in Rhode Island. Number one is the increased cost for goods and service, increased cost to hire folks. And that was the top issues along with making it easier to work with the government. So we took a lot of these stats that our small business members shared with us, and we spoke directly with the governor and his team when it comes to, coming up with the new budget and what we would want to advocate and suggest to make sure that we are eliminating unnecessary taxes and fees and really supporting our small businesses. So we're very appreciative that the governor and his team truly listens and cares about small businesses, and we certainly know that you do a lot as well.
Yes, so as you know, we do have that in common. The governor and I both are big supporter of the small business community. We understand how crucial the small business is to the economy of the state. And I as always have to mention, the small business are the one hiring people in our community, hiring our neighbors, our friends, making sure that our community continue to be employed. So anything that we can do to support the small business community, you can always count on us. Thanks.
Yeah, we really appreciate you and everyone. And Director Weldon gave out his email. So everyone that has hiring issues that reported on the Small Business Coalition survey can email Director Weldon directly. But there's some positive news, also 80% of small businesses in Rhode Island did better or the same in 2022 compared to 2021, 80%. So that's a really good positive jump moving forward in 2022. And most of them have a positive outlook, surprisingly, in 2023. But one thing that we want to turn around, and I know this is important to you and to the governor, is making Rhode Island a more small business friendly state. Whether it's reality or perception, only 18% believe Rhode Island is a small business friendly state. Only 18%. So that is a perception issue as well as a real reality of certain things that I know we're all working on. That is our mission at the Small Business Coalition, and working with great leaders like yourself, like the governor, like Director Weldon, like Director Liz Tanner, who is fabulous to work with. We're going to change that, and we're going to make Rhode Island a more small business friendly state.
We will. Our goal is to make sure that we change the perception or reality for some, making sure that we are able to improve the conditions for the small business community. Actually, I just saw a comment from Daniel Krenka from Nicovelas that joined us right there. And Daniel, stay tuned because you want to hear about Lisa, who's going to be your new neighbor right there in downtown Providence, coming up next. Yes.
I'm a neighbor at Nicobella's. Delicious, wonderful spot.
Right? This is one of my favorite spots to go for meetings. Great breakfast. No, but I'm so glad that you have all this data. You work so hard to provide that data because that's going to help us make sure that we make decisions that really are going to have a positive impact for the small business community here in the state of Rhode Island. I'm not sure if you had the opportunity to hear already about what Hope and Maine has been doing and what they're going to be doing in Providence. Actually, tomorrow is going to be the big day. And I want to make sure that you listen to the interview coming up with Lisa. And it's going to be a great addition to the downtown area in Providence. So it's going to be great.
I always listen to whatever Lisa says, and she is, an entrepreneur's entrepreneur. So we're
Right?
fortunate to have her in the state.
We are. Well, thank you, Crystal. I'm going to switch over to hear from Lisa, everything that's going to happen. And then want to hear, hi, welcome, Lisa. So glad that you're here with us.
Governor, thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh. So I just want to go back a little bit. For those that are listening and never heard about Hope and Maine, we should probably, it's weird. I think everybody right now know, but what is Hope and Maine? And then we can switch over to what's going to happen in Providence tomorrow.
Sure.
Yes.
So Hope and Maine is a food business incubator, and we help people to launch and grow their new small food businesses. And I am sitting here in Warren, and behind me is all the earned media of our businesses. That's why I say we, because we are a community.
Yes.
And here in Warren, we have 4 commercial kitchens that you can rent by the hour. And so we help you by making it very affordable to start your food business, because you can rent the kitchens at a affordable rate. We also provide business and technical assistance to you. We connect you to capital, and we also connect you to markets. We give you access to the eater, which is very important in food, because someone's going to eat what you make, right? So we do all of those things from our building here in Warren.
Yes, no, thank you. And I had been to the building, and I have seen that wall. It's amazing to see all the earned media that you had in the past covering the work that Hope and Maine has been doing. So thank you so much. So tell me about tomorrow. I'm so looking forward to going and seeing the space, but can you share with those listening to us and watching this broadcast about what's going to happen tomorrow?
So we are opening a new downtown makers marketplace at 100 Westminster Street. It's right in the heart of the downtown financial district. We're right down the street from Nicobella, from Ocean State Sandwich, our friend Eric there. We're next door to Bellini, the restaurant, and of course across from the arcade. So it's a very iconic place there in the financial district. And with the help of the Pepito Opportunity Connection Foundation and Bill Galino, we've been able to bring our nonprofit program to that space where you will be able to buy the products that are made at Open Maine by our members in that space. So it will be a true, I'm calling it a grocerant. So it's sort of half grocery store and half restaurant. So things like I brought little props with me. So Orishi, this is his beautiful hot pepper sauce. Ramon is from Trinidad, and so he makes his product here. He will sell it there, and we're also going to be able to feature his hot sauce on the menu, it incorporated into some of our menu items. So we will have a breakfast and lunch there, and to order items on the menu. And in a number of those items, we've incorporated Hope and Maine member products. So it'll be really a place to discover what's very new in food and food products in Rhode Island, because as some of you watching may know, one of the challenges that the small food businesses have is getting on a shelf, because oftentimes they need distributors, they need other kinds of connections, it's expensive. And you will get on our shelf immediately, even if you're just a few months into production and making your product. So consumers will be able to find those products very quickly and conveniently at the marketplace.
One of the things that I enjoy is when I go to one of your events and in Warren, and you have all the different vendors and the diversity of options in food. Like it seems like you have food from all over, at least every continent, I think is represented, right?
We just looked at that, and you're right. I think we do from every continent, but maybe Australia is the one place. I'm just trying to think. But we have, so that's one of the great things about Hope in Maine is about 40% of our members are minoritized business owners, and they come from all over the world. And many of them are first generation here in the United States. And a food business is often a pathway to generational wealth. It's a pathway to ownership, and it builds businesses in communities that, as you say, hire our neighbors, our friends, and employ folks who this is a skill that they're bringing from another country. And so we have had an Israeli baker. In fact, all of his products are going to be at the marketplace. Buns Bakery. I mentioned the pepper sauce, kimchi from Vietnam, Chi Kitchen. We have an Argentinian empanada maker, and his empanadas will be at the marketplace. So it's a great place to discover new food ways and food heritage and food culture. As I said, that really you're not going to find anyplace else, including, by the way, for our restaurant friends that are on, we helped many restaurants during the pandemic to make products. I don't have anything in front of me, but La Repa is a good example. So she's making a black bean sauce and her actual sweet corn cakes, the La Repa themselves. And so we'll be selling them. We're selling Guido's marinara sauce from his restaurant. We're selling Hunky Dory's pimento cheese. I hope we get Ocean State Sandwich relish, because it's a great cross promotion. So your little product is like a brand ambassador for your business, and we're very happy to be selling that at the marketplace.
Yeah. Well, I'm so looking forward to tomorrow seeing the new space in downtown Providence. Thank you so much for everything that you have been doing to support the small business community, but the entrepreneurs that decide to take a chance and start a new business, especially in the food area, which is very tough. Thanks for all the support that you and Hope in Maine provide for those new business owners that decide to venture and start their own business here in Rhode Island.
Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. So looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and make sure all of you watching to stop by tomorrow and see the new location of Hope in Maine at 100 Westminster Street in Providence. Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us today. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks. And for all of you watching, thank you so much for taking the time. I hope that you have the opportunity to learn new things about what is happening and how we can support the small business community here in the state of Rhode Island. As Director Matt Weldon said, if you have any feedback, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Ben is going to be sharing his email again. He provided his email recently for all of you to have it. Make sure that you let us know. We cannot improve the business climate in the state of Rhode Island if we don't know what is affecting you. So make sure you share that information with the director, share that information with me and my office also. We are making sure to add our contact during the comment section so you have that information available also for after. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and see you next time on Tuesday the 31st. Take care.